think Richard Roper said it best. I saw in his post that nobody could slide so effortlessly between comedy and drama. You know, you think of so many comic actors. I mean, Robin Williams is certainly always going to be known for his comedy, but look at the great performances that he gave. I mean, the way that he could make such incredible dramas. I mean, the one that came to mind right away is Good Will Hunting. Garney said on his post tonight he's after he's done with rehearsal, he's going to watch Hook and Good Will Hunting, an interesting pairing of Robin Williams films there. And Good Will Hunting has always been one of my favorites, the one that he won the Academy Award for, his only Academy Award, is one of my personal favorites. I just think the depth of that performance really spoke to what Robin Williams was able to achieve. And to see him be able to do those zany comic performances and then at the same time deliver something like a Good Will Hunting. Awakening was another favorite of mine. But yeah, I mean, I found out the news tonight about, I guess it was about 5:30 or so, 5:30, 6 o'clock. I was sitting there just watching the news and just, you know, I had to glance up at, because I wasn't even paying attention to the news. I was listening to my daughter talk about her day at school and everything, and I look up and it says Robin Williams dead at age 63. And it's just one of those that really hits you, you know. I think Lisa Sims said it the best, you know, certainly a close friend. I want to read exactly what she said because it was very, very true about, I think, you know, and especially why a lot of us that are, you know, artists, why we feel a loss like this so much. Hang on here. Yeah, here's what she said. No matter where you are on the acting scale, actors are a family of sorts. We understand each other. We get it when a fellow actor says, this character leapt off the page into my imagination. So today, that family and the world lost one of the true greats. Please, friends, don't ever take depression lightly. You just never know the pain people are hiding behind the jokes and big laughs. And yeah, he took his own life at age 63. And that's another sad part of this, was that, you know, Robin Williams made no, you know, he didn't hide the fact that he had been suffering from a lot of personal demons over the years. I hadn't heard lately, though, what he had been going through, but that struggle with depression is something I can certainly understand. I think a lot of artists go through that. I mean, we've seen it just this year with the loss of Philip Seymour Hoffman. It's something that needs a lot more understanding, a lot greater understanding, and it needs a lot more people that don't just shrug it off and say, oh, just get over it. People, Sasha Stone also had a really, really beautiful thing that she said. She said, I wish he would have just waited a day, just waited until the sun came up the next day. Sometimes that's all it takes. All I can think is that it must have been way worse than anything I've ever known, because as bad as it ever got for me, just waiting until the next day was a way out. And yeah, that's a very simple and powerful message, Sasha, right there, that, you know, so often the things we struggle with, you know, we always feel like we're so alone sometimes in a lot of these struggles. Hell, I know I feel that. Very recently, I've been going through a lot of it myself, just with a lot of difficulties just with film stuff, and you know, and I know that doesn't even compare to what a lot of people are going through. But in all of our own ways, we have expectations on ourselves. We have, you know, things, dreams, you know, that don't always come true. We have internal demons that sometimes never leave us. And it's very hard for other people to understand that, you know, because a lot of times even people, sometimes the closest people to us are people that have no idea what we're going through. So, you know, what Sasha was saying there about the level of depression that Robin Williams had, you know, was probably something that, you know, maybe even some of the closest to him didn't really know the depth that it went to this point. It's hard to know what to say. You know, it's, like I said, depression, you know, is I think, like I said, I think it's just something that we don't really fully understand and we don't really properly handle and treat the right way. And yeah, I mean, I know there's only a certain amount that each of us can do to help one another, but I think we do need to reach out more. You know, it's a sad loss. It's sad that we lose so many great talents like this. You know, Robin Williams is just 63, and he's just one of those that, like I said, always thought he was going to be with us, and it's one of those weird connections that, not weird, but you know what I mean, just that we may have never met him in person. I never met him in person, but you just feel like he's part of that family, sort of what Lisa Sims said in her post, that, you know, he's there. He's always there. You just, you know, so when you hear that kind of news, it's just a stunning loss. And I think for so many of us that do battle through, there's certain levels that we have of those kinds of pains and things like that. And I know in my life I have certainly gone through to very, very dark places. So I certainly understand the kind of desperation and sadness and just utter hopelessness that Robin Williams must have been feeling that got him to this point. And it's a shame. And I know a lot of people have been posting that, that there's a hope that this will lead to, a greater discussion of that, and a greater discussion of the nature of depression and what we can do. But, you would have hoped that would have come with Philip Seymour Hoffman too, and we're not really doing that. That's the unfortunate thing, is that, these things just keep happening, and we get an awareness of it, but by tomorrow or, 2 days from now, we're all going to be back into our little worlds, and we're not going to be reaching out to others. And I think the biggest thing that I would like to see come from something like this, and maybe this one is going to touch a lot of people even more than Philip Seymour Hoffman, because Philip Seymour Hoffman, certainly not as well known as Robin Williams. Robin Williams was known by everybody. I really, really hope, and this is something that I think we've needed more of anyway, just not about depression, but to just be aware of people. Just to reach out more, and when you see somebody clearly struggling with something, maybe it's something like Sasha Stone said, if you could just say, just wait until tomorrow, like I was picking up my daughter at her dance class just about an hour ago, and we were actually talking about this on the car on the way home, and I was, and she just was trying to understand, like, why did he kill himself? Why, and I said, well, sometimes people reach such a dark point and they just cannot see any hope. They can't see any hope. There's just nothing beyond what they're going through right now. And I said, the biggest message to tell these people is wait for the next day, and I'm the worst person probably to give this kind of advice, because I know it's been very hard for me to step over reaching a lot of these points in my life, and I know that I'll still struggle with it. I think once you reach one of these really dark places, you never really leave that, and it kind of stays with you. And unfortunately, you can sink deeply into those places again, but it does take strength, and it's very hard. I know how hard it is. And the best advice I can say is to try to lean on others. But for those of us that ever see people in these kind of places, reach out to them. Just maybe you can't solve all the problems. Probably you can't. Most problems can't be solved except through time and, perspective, maybe. But maybe all it takes is just saying, I'll listen to you. Just talk. If you want to talk for an hour, I'll listen to you. I'm here for you. Just convince them to just give the next day another try. So, like I said, I don't mean to go on forever about it, but these kinds of things just really do personally reach me because of what I went through in my own youth, and just struggles that all of us have. And like I said, some of us are better equipped to deal with them than others. But we do see these in the artistic community a lot, and I think it's not for me to try to even guess what kind of all the demons that Robin Williams might have been going through. But I just hope that this does bring some more awareness to this, that we could change how we are with other people. Just give people some time, and just recognize when there's a difficult situation that someone's going through, and just try to be there for them. I know me personally, it can just be a brief message from someone, like, because I'm very open with the emotions that I have through social media and stuff like that. So I'll post something on Facebook and I'll get, multiple messages from people checking in on me just to see if I'm okay. And I can't tell you what that does. I can't tell you what that feels, just to know that there's someone that is concerned. And you might say to yourself, God, how did someone like Robin Williams think that it was that hopeless? Did they not know what he gave to the world? Did he not know how much he made people laugh? Yeah, I'm sure he was very aware of that. But think of what all that smiles and laughter was hiding. Because so many, you see it in a lot of comedians where laughter and all of that is a cover for a very dark, deep depression. And and it just goes to show that no matter what, everybody has this vision of what they can achieve and what they can say. God, you look at someone like Robin Williams, Oscar-winning actor, made all these movies. God, that's the life I'd want. But you're not in their shoes. You don't know what is going on. So we can't just make all these assumptions about that. I think the biggest lesson is that we just need to take a little bit of time for people and recognize that we might be that one person that could make a difference in someone's life. I know it from personal experience for the people that have been that for me. And I have seen from people that I have made an effort to be there for, that it has changed people's perspective. So we may not always be successful at it, but at least I think the effort speaks to people. I know it does to me. That effort really does speak to me. And at the very least, we know that we have tried. Because wouldn't you hate to be the person that sits there saying, God, I was thinking of calling him up and letting him know what he meant to me. I just think we need more of that too, letting people know what they mean to us. I think so often we keep so much of that in, and we don't tell people what they mean to us. And how are people going to know that if we don't otherwise tell them? So anyway, it's just sad. It's just a very sad, because we all have this collective memory of the moments that he gave us, and he gave us so much laughter. I mean, God, think of the moments that just bring a smile to your face, of times with his zany humor. I can think of so many times that he went on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, that incredibly zany humor, and you think, God, where can he come up with this stuff? He gave a great gift to the world, and it's a gift that we need a lot more of, by the way. The way that things are happening in the world right now, we need more of that. So it's a great loss when we lose one of the most gifted comedians that there was. So let's just hope that this kind of awareness leads us to something a little better for all of us. That would be a great thing to happen from this tragedy. And I hope it doesn't take more losses of great people that we need more of in the world for this lesson to ever sink in. Just my closing thought, live and love ridiculously as always, but try to extend a little bit of that love out to someone who maybe needs it tonight, because they're out there and they need someone to hear that they matter, their concerns matter, their troubles matter, and maybe they just need someone to listen for just a minute or so. So that maybe I'm not having to look over at the TV right now and see that headline, Robin Williams dead at 63, because it's not fun to see a headline like that.